Now, so I let out with President Trump said something about common sense. I'm going to give you an opportunity, each of you guys, to tell me the one thing that you think Congress needs to do that makes common sense. How do we fix this crisis that we have? How do we fulfill the promise of securing the U.S. southern border and making America safe again? Mr. Fabricatore, Fab, I'll let you go first.
Thank you, sir. Make sure ICE is funded. Make sure enforcement removal operations has the officers necessary. Increase detention beds. We need a massive increase in detention beds from what we have now, which is around 40,000, to probably in excess of 70,000. We need to make sure that we can fund this so that we can take care of this problem today.
The chairman mentioned that. We're going to, as this committee and as Congress, we are going to make sure that we fund the president's priorities to round people up and get them out of here. Ms. Vaughn.
Another thing that would help a lot would be to eliminate all of the programs that allow people who've managed to get into the country to have their status laundered essentially into a program, a visa program or a benefit that gives them a work permit. And
how do you, Ms. Vaughn, how do you launder a status? That's interesting.
Well, you apply for a program like a U visa program, special immigrant juvenile, or TPS sometimes can be granted. Even though you entered illegally, you're allowed to stay and you get a work permit, and the systems are so bogged down, you get this benefit even before your application has been evaluated or you've had a background check, and many of these have a path to citizenship.
Talking about bogging the system down, folks, in Yuma, Arizona, we had the testimony. They were getting a cell phone, $800 a month, and we were turning them loose. And then the phones are so we could call them to come to their court case, but they would take our phones and not our calls. It was quite astonishing. Mr. Newman, one quick common sense fix.
Pass H.R. 2. Stop the loopholes.
Very good, very good.
To do this.
You know, we passed that in the House, but the Democratic-controlled Senate would not pass it. Do you know that? You aware of that? We'll bring it back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.